Let's get into choosing type. So Helvetica again, ensure how to choose the appropriate typeface. The following are some elements to consider. I've mentioned several times, as we develop our design skill and as you become skilled designers, you tend to start to find a font that you love and find a font that you always lean on. Every time that you are looking for a new typeface and you're like, can't quite nail one down, you always end up, oh, I'm just going to lean back on this one. And that'll change. So you might lean on one for a while. I leaned on one for a real long time. It's about 5 or 6 years. And I'm now recently changing, and I'm almost mortified by that typeface now. So you get a little bit sick of it, but you tend to lean on one for a while. Determining your goal, the reaction of the intended viewers will assist you in choosing the right typeface. Be sure to honor the content and read it before making any decisions about what the goal is and how to go about achieving it. Use good combination of legibility and readability to achieve this. Yes, sorry. We've seen this before, the appropriateness, so becoming familiar with typefaces and their suitability for your designs will develop over time and experience. Let's consider, the following are some points of appropriateness to consider. This obviously looks like you might not see your kids again if you drop them off. Intention of the type design. So many fonts were designed with a specific intent in mind. Some were created more specifically for body copy, while others were intended for signage. Finding out this information may be helpful in your decision. Just look it up online. Personal preference, like I said, go with your gut instinct. Sometimes there might be a font that is calling to you. Listen to yourself if you can make it work. However, be prepared to explain your reasons for using this particular font, especially if it's unusual. This happens to me often. I see a font or I purchase a new font and I really like, I'm dying to use it on something. And then sure enough, it's just not working. I end up, I'm trying it on this project, that typeface it's not really fitting with my client. It's not fitting with the target. Okay, move on. What about this one? Maybe that next project it'll work. So we always need to be prepared that it may or may not work. And if we do use it and someone challenges it, we need to argue why we feel it's fitting. So if it's a real spooky font like this, why would this be valuable here? You're going to need to argue that, oh, this actually in fact conveys, kids playing with paints and having fun with paints, and see if they buy it. They probably won't in that instance though. Technicalities. So be aware of things such as excessive use of numbers. Having a choice of lining in old style numbers is a must, or a need for ligatures or small caps. Not all typefaces have these options available, so do your homework beforehand to see if you have that whole family at your fingertips. Plan your hierarchy, research of what others have done, get others' opinions, look for extended font families, limit the amount of typefaces, outline that from the beginning, and always, always, always be able to argue your results to your client, because oftentimes they will challenge it, or oftentimes they might pick one or ask you to switch it, and you're going to challenge them as to why it's not valuable to switch that font or that typeface. Oftentimes, maybe I'll choose something and the client will come back and say, oh, could you switch for this font? And I'm like, that's really not going to work. And that really doesn't look good. And it's not appropriate. We need some good grounding reason as to why it doesn't work, why we feel it's not appropriate, and why the one we chose works better than the one they're requesting. It needs to be proven with obviously some factual information, perhaps, something that's really going to back you up. Okay? Any questions around that?